Two ice-cold killers like Bronson Reed and
Hey everyone, this is Ring Authority News, your home for non-stop WWE energy. Subscribe now, and let's dive right into the ring. A quiet stillness has fallen over the legendary Anoaʻi wrestling dynasty, a family that once stood as the unshakable foundation of sports entertainment. From Yokozuna to The Rock, their bloodline has carried the spirit of warriors for generations. But now, that spirit is tested like never before. The headlines have shaken the world. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, is fighting through a severe and sudden health crisis. It wasn't part of a storyline. It wasn't a dramatic twist in the bloodline saga. This time, it was painfully real. WWE fell silent. No statements, no appearances, no updates, just a void that echoed louder than any promo ever could. Behind the scenes, worry spread fast. The man who had carried the company for years was suddenly the one being carried, and no one knew how to face it. The fall of a warrior. Roman Reigns, known to his family as Joe Anoaʻi, had faced battles before, both in and out of the ring. But this time, it wasn't an opponent that brought him down. It was his own body. Sources close to the family shared that Roman had been struggling quietly for months. Fatigue, dizziness, and exhaustion had become constant companions. But he pushed through it all. He had always been the man who wouldn't stop, the leader who returned from illness once before and defied the odds. To the world, he was invincible. To his family, he was the heart that held everyone together. But every heart, no matter how strong, can only take so much. The weight of leadership. Inside the Anoaʻi family home, the mood was heavy but united. Uncles, cousins, and elders, generations of wrestlers who had once trained, fought, and celebrated together, gathered not for victory, but for prayer. Rikishi, the family's proud patriarch, stood at the center of it all. Known for his strength and laughter, he was now a man fighting tears. "My nephew is not okay," he said quietly during an emotional appearance. Those 5 words broke millions of hearts. They weren't said for cameras or headlines. They came from a place of raw truth. In private, family members admitted what many already knew. Roman never liked to show weakness. He bore the weight of an empire, not just WWE's top storylines, but the expectations of an entire legacy. "He wanted to be strong for everyone," said one family friend. "He didn't want to let anyone see him hurting." That silence, Rikishi later admitted, was their greatest mistake. "In our culture, we teach men to be warriors," he said, "but we don't always teach them to say, 'I'm not okay.'" The family vigil. At a hospital in Florida, a quiet vigil took shape. Members of the Anoaʻi family arrived one by one, faces drawn, eyes heavy with worry. The Usos, usually vibrant and full of confidence, moved like ghosts through the corridors. Solo Sikoa, Roman's enforcer in the ring, refused to leave his side. Rikishi stayed by his nephew's bed, his hand resting gently on Roman's arm. Nearby, Roman's father, Sika, one half of the legendary Wild Samoans, sat in silence. "He looks so small," he whispered. "He doesn't look like the warrior I raised." Doctors continued to monitor his condition closely. There was progress, then setback, then more waiting. For the family, every heartbeat was both hope and heartbreak. But even as fear grew, faith never left the room. They prayed in Samoan. They sang softly. They told stories of Roman's childhood, of Joe, the barefoot boy who once dreamed of being like The Rock. The world responds. Outside the hospital walls, the world moved with one heartbeat. Fans gathered at WWE events holding banners that read, "Stay strong, Tribal Chief." Thousands of messages poured in, from wrestlers, fans, and even people outside the wrestling community. Seth Rollins posted a broken heart emoji. Cody Rhodes shared a quiet prayer. And then The Rock, Roman's cousin, finally broke his silence. He shared an old photo of the two of them training together, smiling and sweating, captioned, "My brother, my blood. You've carried the torch with honor. Keep fighting. We're all with you." The post went viral instantly. It wasn't a statement. It was family speaking from the heart. Across the ocean, in Samoa, the family's ancestral village held a traditional ceremony. Elders lit torches and chanted prayers into the night. Children wore head-of-the-table shirts, holding hands in silent unity. One elder summed it up best: "He is our son. He carries our name. We carry him now. The man behind the myth." Behind all the headlines, beyond the fame, was Joe, a husband, a father, a son. His children were too young to understand the weight of the world around them. They asked simple questions that broke the strongest hearts. When will Daddy come home? At home, the family turned the walls into a sanctuary of memories, photos of Roman smiling, holding his championship belts, and playing with his kids. Candles glowed beneath his portraits, filling the room with warmth and sorrow. For decades, the Anoaʻi family had given wrestling its greatest stars. But in Roman, they found something deeper, a bridge between generations. He was the modern embodiment of their legacy, proud, disciplined, loyal. He carried the culture of Samoa into global arenas and made millions acknowledge the power of heritage and heart. Now that same world was learning a lesson Roman had lived silently, that strength isn't just about fighting. Sometimes it's about letting others hold you up when you can't stand on your own. A legacy of love. WWE has shifted quietly in his absence. Creative plans have changed, storylines paused, and the Bloodline saga, once the heartbeat of the company, stands still. For once, there's no script to follow. This story writes itself, and every word is human. Triple H reportedly visited the family, not as a boss, but as a friend. "We pushed him too hard," he admitted privately. "We should have seen the signs. We should have protected him." Even in stillness, Roman's impact endures. Wrestlers across the world, from AEW to New Japan, have shared tributes, remembering the man who redefined what it meant to lead. "He made us believe in storytelling again," said one veteran. "He made us feel something real."